Hi there, welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming. I'm here to talk with Joe today. It's a little bit off our normal schedule, so I won't be talking about hair facts. I guess the whole interview is about hair facts though. But we won't be answering email questions today. I will get back on schedule after our interviews with Joe. Joe,
Hey,
thank you for coming again.
absolutely.
I
Glad to
sure,
be here.
I sure appreciate it. And I just wanted to clarify a little bit more about what we talked about the last time.
Okay.
And when we talked about things like understanding our damage, and we talked about how did you get to understanding your damage. And so want to review that for us a little bit. How did you get to understanding your damage? I know my advice helped,
Right.
but also too you had to sort of get home and go, this is what? So what
I
happened
think that
at
I had to
home?
just pay attention. If you pay attention and you wash and you watch, um, you'll notice little things here and there. My hair is this, my hair is that, whether it's not shiny, whether the ends aren't looking so great, whether you're not getting the volume,
Whether or not you have your hairline.
whether or not you have your hairline. You just got to pay attention.
Yeah.
And when you see those things, they could all be corrected.
And did you find that the hair was like a sponge? Well, it absorbed. And then at one point you couldn't get it to absorb enough because it just seemed to be thirsty all the time.
Yeah, well, not my hair did not absorb anything for quite some time there, and it was just dry and brittle and damaged. But with some of the knowledge that you gave me, I now know what to look for when your hair is getting dry. It doesn't go dry overnight.
That's right.
It takes some time to get there.
Right.
So if you pay attention, watching as it gets there, anywhere along the line, you can change that. You just have to make that conscious decision to say, okay, well, I'm done with this. What do I do?
Yeah. And then, of course, you had to search for a product that would give you some moisture. So, we're not trying to comment on brands or anything.
Right.
But you found a product that would give you the moisture.
Yes.
And then you realized that you could use that to stabilize your dryness.
Yes.
And then you just had to have my advice on how often to give yourself moisture, because maybe you had a different understanding of how your hair takes moisture.
Yeah, first off, sometimes you get a product and you're like, oh, this is great. I hope it's going to promise what it says. And you have to figure out how to use that product because not all products come with proper labeling. So once you figure out how to use that product properly, and if you do it, you're going to have some results to show for it. You'll get the results that you're looking for.
Good,
yeah.
Good. How did you understand your breakage? I mean, you had breakage on the ends really severely. And how did you, be able to conquer that?
Well, my ends were breaking, not just at the end. My hair was breaking somewhere in the middle here. I'm getting little pieces stuck up here that are breaking. And I think it just needed proper moisturizer, proper oils, proper care, proper brushing, proper shampooing,
and then all that together,
all that other stuff, all that combination of everything that I was doing has stopped the breakage.
That's smart. Yeah, that is so smart. I think it's confusing for my followers to understand that it does take some patience and it takes some observing. Maybe lots of observing. Right?
Lots of observing and lots of patience because you didn't get to where you are with your hair overnight. It happened in time. So it's going to take that much time to try and repair what you have damaged all those years.
Yeah, and staying consistent.
Yes.
Did you find any good means for instance, I always preach about brushing. And did you find that brushing was, hard to deal with, or did you feel as if it helped you, or could you see it in the long run that it helped your scalp? How was brushing? Because, you break when you brush too.
You break when you brush. I've noticed that, but the breakage is less.
Okay.
As I use better product, I'm finding that my hair is in better condition and it's not breaking as much as it was before.
That's true. It does get stabilized to brush.
So with the brushing, everybody has a night routine somewhere along the line. 5 minutes to your night routine is nothing. If you do a proper brush at night, boom, 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 not only does it help you feel better because now your scalp is feeling real good.
That's true.
You know,
the growth rate picks up.
Right, the growth rate picks up. It's just good.
Yeah.
It's just good for your hair. It pulls your oils, your natural oils down, and your hair is going to look better too.
Yeah, I think so. I really do. How did you adapt to the shampooing? Like, for instance, it's the advice of shampooing every 7 to 10 days versus maybe every 3 days.
Well,
and then conditioning treatments, you kind of look at the heat cap like,
no, don't get it twisted. At first, I was like, oh no, there's no way I could do any of that. But you know what? You just adjust your schedule.
Okay.
So
your scalp didn't feel different, not shampooing as often?
It doesn't now. At first it did, and I wasn't used to it. But now, like, I shampoo and I know what a good shampoo feels like. I know how my hair is supposed to feel after I shampoo.
That's true.
So after
products will camouflage.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of products out there that when you shampoo your hair, it's all nice and soft. That's not good. Mm-hmm. That's not good for your hair. What you want to start off after you shampoo is a squeaky clean.
That's right.
And when you get that squeaky clean, now you have all of your moisturizers.
That's right.
That you put into your hair. Because if you put the moisturizers into your hair and your hair is, soft and you just shampooed, it's just going to end up with buildup.
That's right.
And what happens with that buildup is that you don't really get any product to penetrate into your hair.
That's right.
Which is what you want to reverse the damage, to give you a shine, to give you, moisture into your hair.
And
everything else that's out there blocks it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want nothing to block it. So
that's
when you start with something squeaky clean,
you know that the conditioners are going to get in.
Yes.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about asking you that.
Yeah.
Because that's a good point. When you do leave conditioners or shampoos that leave it so soft, then you can't tell if you're dry or if you're not dry.
Right.
So if you start off from a squeaky clean, not meaning that you don't have to lather. You want to lather up, but you want to come out with a squeaky clean. And shampoos often will camouflage that with their...
Oh, no, not often. They quite most of the time. They do.
I see.
A lot of the products that I've ever used, I always thought like, oh, look, it's going to make, it made my hair nice and soft. But then I realized that now it's becoming, it's breaking off more. Mm-hmm. Or, oh, my hair feels good when I shampooed and I put this conditioner or whatever in. But now, the next day I'm dealing with, flyaways and this frizzy and just all this
you can tell
unmanageable madness.
Mm-hmm.
But
because you never got moisture in.
No, I never got the moisture in because when I started with the shampoo, it covered it up already.
How do you like the shampoo? I mean, the product, like, for instance, I suggest that you leave a little in. So many times people will rinse their conditioner out. And I'm saying, no, put a little conditioner back in to help your hair have protection. How do you feel about that? Did that feel heavy or hard for you to adjust with?
No, it's not hard to adjust. Okay. You just don't rinse as much. So there's, another 2 minutes worth of time that you could use brushing it later on at night when you just have to shower.
Sounds like you got your time down, right?
Yes, I do. But my hair just, leaving it in, it's not hard to do. And you do see results.
Yeah.
You do
now,
see
how
results.
long have you been taking this advice? I think it's been 2 years now, maybe?
About 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I promise you, everything that you've told me, all the information that you've given me, it works.
Yeah, it works.
It works.
We just need, we just need someone to talk to that's not trying to sell us a product.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's so true.
I have on here your layers of damage. I know that we talked before about layers of damage, and you had a few layers of damage. Mm-hmm. And how did you kind of peel those back and know that you've gotten to the bottom layer?
I started from scratch.
Okay.
I started from scratch, one thing at a time. Okay, first let's take care of, moisture. Okay, let's get enough moisture in there. Then, once I felt like we've corrected that part, then it's okay. Well, now let's try to work on the, the breakage.
Holding the curl.
Let's work on holding the curl. Let's break into working on the shine. And as we progress, all of the things that I hated about my hair, are now showing up in a way where I love them. As far as like, I now have shine. My breakage is minimal. I can hold a curl. My hair feels moisturized.
So you have control over your damaged hair.
Control.
Yeah,
I sure do.
I tell my followers all the time, you can take control of your damaged hair. And it's hard to see that. So I'm glad to know that you feel as if you are reading your hair good.
Yes.
You're getting results.
Yes.
And you have control.
Yeah, but it takes time.
Yes.
It takes time. I did not get damaged overnight, and I can't expect to be, beautiful with beautiful hair overnight as well. It takes time. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And when you put in the work, you will see the results.
Now, you said that when others, like for instance, a lot of times we talked about in my last post, I talked about how people are influenced by what they read, and then family, who says, what are you doing with your hair? Or they don't notice it at all. I mean, how do you get how can you stand strong not to change your routine when you're getting other information? Like your sister might say, oh, let you try this product. You know how we always get our
you can always say, oh, yeah, thank you, take the product and then never use it. But, you just let them know, listen, no, my hair looks the way it does because I'm using the products that I do and I have a strict regimen.
Yeah.
As long as I stick to my regimen and my products that I'm using, I know I got these results. I am not using
somebody else's. But they don't really understand you're
anymore.
On a hair goal either. They don't understand, like I remember you said that when using your products, you know that they're secure with you.
Right.
But you get all these products because we're a marketing a machine.
Right.
So hair companies will market to you. How do you resist those hair companies marketing new products to you?
Because I know the products that I use work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That you might not need
There's
them.
no sense for me to use a product that I'm not sure of.
True.
When I use a product that I already know.
Yeah.
It takes some time. You switch over. When you switch over to a different product, you're not sure how it's going to work, what's going to happen with your hair.
Yeah.
And you should see results fairly quickly.
That's true.
If the product is good.
That's right.
And the product does what it says it's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of products out there that say a lot of mambo jumbo on the label and never produce.
That's true.
I feel like if you're going to use a product, you should start seeing some kind of results.
That's right.
Within a week or two, you should feel something.
Definitely in a month.
Yes, definitely in a month. If the product you're using, you don't have some result within a month,
something's going on. Maybe you've analyzed wrong, or maybe you've underestimated your dehydration. Right. How much do you think of your medication that affects your dryness?
Well, my medication, I think, definitely affected the dryness to my hair. The medications that you take affect your body. If it affects your body, it's going to affect your hair because that's where it all, your skin and your hair is affected by anything that you take in.
So how did you think, for instance, how can you tell if you are very dry from your medication, or maybe you're dry from something else? Maybe you're dry from swimming all the time, or maybe you're dry from you didn't moisturize.
Well, if you're doing the same thing that you typically do with your hair, and your medication has changed, and then something shows up in your hair, it's your medication, not your product.
Very true.
It's not your product. It's the medication.
That's right.
If you're doing something different in your hair routine, that's what you've done. But when it comes to the medication, you can tell.
Okay.
You can tell for sure.
Yeah, you can tell when you're dehydrated.
Yes.
And if you're dehydrated often, then you do need to pick you up with a little bit of the IV, the electrolytes.
Yeah.
And drink the water.
Yeah. If you stay hydrated internally like that,
true.
Your hair will show it. Your hair will show it.
That's very true. Because sometimes you can't just put it in by conditioning. You have to also have it in your body.
Right.
That sounds great. I really enjoyed having you today. I really think we've answered a lot of questions for my followers. I think that we've covered, how it feels to read your hair. I think we've done great at expressing how we value our body and how it coordinates or how it relates to the hair.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is all good information for them so that they can go out and start to change their ways.
Right.
Because what we want to establish is if we can be more pro hair client,
Uh-huh.
then we can definitely solve and stabilize our hair damage. And I
Right.
think that's what you feel most helpless with, especially after you've lost a hairline. They don't feel very confident that they can take control of their damage.
Right.
But I think today we've answered questions that will help us take control and stabilize our damage and have faith that we can be successful at it.
Right.
I think that's what people are not used to. I also think that product is just being pushed from every which way, that to the point that we're like, oh, I love this product. Oh, I like that product.
That's
Which
true.
feels
But
great.
here's the thing when it comes to products that are out there. Not all products are good for all hair.
That's true.
And people don't, sometimes people don't realize that. Your hair is different than my hair. That's different from the next one.
And your damage is too.
And
How
so
you
is
become
your damage.
is not how I become damaged.
Exactly.
And I think only the person can tune into that. And I think you've done a great job at doing that.
I try.
Yeah, you're doing
well
great.
with your help.
I appreciate
with
that.
your help, absolutely.
I appreciate that. And I
Yes.
think that once you get to know your hair, you fall back in love with it because
I
you're
have.
not so stressed. You said, I have.
I have. I have.
I want to thank my followers for coming. I want to thank you for staying. You definitely push the like button, the share button. I appreciate that as well. Notifications, that would be great. And as far as coming back and looking at some more hair facts so you can take control and stabilize your damage, I definitely will be here for that. You need someone that can help you without trying to sell you product. Today we've learned a lot about how you can take control and be successful. So let's go have a good, successful hair day. I want to thank you for coming. Now go have a good day. A good hair day. Thank you.